In this video, instead of going um, into healing of diseases one by one, I'm going to say a simple strategy which can be used to curing any disease. Whatever you say, you just apply this. You just check if you are going wrong with any of these steps I'm doing, and if you find it, then you just rectify it. That's more than enough to cure any disease, no matter what the science may say that certain diseases are incurable. Just don't listen to them. It will cure you. Just think about AIDS. They say there is no medicine for it, but still um, they come out with certain drugs which is more costly, which again is not going to um, cure the disease, but it will just keep it as such. It will just decrease the um, kind of suffering you get out of that disease. I bet if you follow the steps I'm going to discuss in this video, you will live much better than when you can live with those drugs on. The same applies with cancer and all diseases, sugar, heart problems, anything, because when your energy level is quite normal, when it is not at all disturbed, you will not have anything called disease. If you have certain disease, what happens is there is a total disruption of balance in energy level. That is what that causes disease. It actually develops into a disease. It doesn't happen just like that. It takes a really long time to develop into a disease that you can feel. But what we are doing is, by following these steps, we are actually decreasing the threshold level. If we know for sure that if we have to stop doing certain thing within this time, and if we can do it, then we will not get any disease. So if we can decrease that threshold level, we can never reach a point that is serious enough to cause any disease. So here are my steps that actually saves energy. Before that, let's discuss what takes more energy. The energy we get, the energy this body gets, is through our food. That's the only source of energy that we take in. Now let's see how this energy is consumed. It is consumed by any action this body is taking, whether it is seeing through eyes, listening through ears, speaking through mouth, or doing any work with our legs or hands or any part of our body. It's all going to take much energy, but in our daily activities, much of our energy is spent through speaking. That is the obvious way of spending energy. But there are certain things that we least bother about, but that's the same thing which consumes lots of energy. It might be quite shocking for you to even think that these trivial things do consume a lot of energy. Things like just sitting on a chair or just standing. We don't even consider sitting as work, but it takes much energy than you can possibly imagine. And also standing, and needless to say about walking, running, doing exercise, doing yoga exercises, everything. Okay, if I say that running, walking, talking, doing exercises consume energy, then it makes sense for everybody. But when I say that mere sitting consumes a lot of energy, um, that sounds illogical for most of you, because nobody ever speaks about it. But what happens really is, just compare ourselves with any animal. Uh, have you ever seen any animal sitting with their back straight like this? But all animals, all reptiles, most of them have the ability to have their back straight, but they can't have their back vertical, but they are not going to do it all their time. They will do it only during their emergency. The snakes can raise their hood, and it will do it only for emergency, just to threaten their enemies. And also certain animals, they can lift their body up uh, in case of fighting or mating. That's it. These two are more like emergency situation for animals, for its survival needs. Only for that they are using it. But we casually spend much of our time sitting on our chair. We think that it is rest, but it consumes more energy, because uh, if you are working in office for 8 to 10 hours, which is common now in almost all fields, you will not find anything painful, at least at the initial time of your job. But when you go home, and when you are mingling with your family members and watching television and sitting on the dinner table and having dinner, again you wouldn't feel anything. But when you go to bed, if you are lucky enough to stay awake for more than 1 hour, even after lying on bed without getting sleep, then you will feel that your body is experiencing pain, which actually means your body can sense the pain more accurately only when it is in horizontal position. That is when we lie on bed. What I'm trying to say is, when you sit, when you have your backbone in a vertical position, it means the body thinks it's kind of an emergency, so it kind of secretes some kind of chemical that actually makes you forget the pain, makes you not sense the pain. It's some kind of painkiller is released into your body, so you do not have the actual idea of what body is going through right then. That is why you do not experience any pain while you are sitting or while you are standing. But when you go to bed, you will experience pain. If you go to you can walk for 1 hour, 2 hour continuously without experiencing pain. But if you after coming home, when you lie on bed, you will suddenly feel that your leg is aching, and if you are very conscious, you can feel it very accurately how much painful it has to undergo. So instead of elaborating on this topic, let me cut short to what I'm trying to say in this particular video. That is, sitting, no matter in which position, it doesn't matter if you sit straight or if you sit comfortably by resting on the back support, it still consumes a lot of energy. So that's the main stealer of energy. That is why even if you just sit, it doesn't matter, even if you do not watch television, even if you do not read, even if you do not talk to anybody, even if you are sitting all alone by yourself, still it consumes a lot of energy. So when you do not have anything else, why waste your energy by sitting? Just go to bed and save yourself some energy. That saves a lot of energy. And the same applies to standing. And another important thing, in addition to the loss of energy while you are sitting, just check out the position. You are causing much stress to the uh, that midrib bone. Just think about this. If you are holding onto a support while traveling by bus in standing, uh, you cannot uh, you will just feel like changing your hand within 5 to 10 minutes, which means this bone cannot uh, support this weight for even for 10 minutes at a stretch. So just think about the bone in your hip region. uh, in the side you do not have any bone, only in the center you have that uh, supporting backbone, which is not very big, but still you are giving much pain by sitting for long hours. So it causes um, strain. In addition to consuming a lot of energy, it also causes bone damage. That is why by 40 many women and men experience bone damage. uh, it is actually seen common only in office goers because they spend much of their time sitting. So sitting is not at all good for health. You need to be really conscious uh, about the time you spend sitting. It doesn't mean that you have to take a walk quite often. It is still going to cause damage. You must lie on bed, as I said in my earlier videos, uh, at regular intervals. At least you can work to the maximum of 3 hours at a stretch. Even if you do not work, you can sit all alone by yourself only for 3 hours to the maximum. After that you must lie horizontally so that your body comes back to normal. uh, Depending on the work you do, for those 3 hours you need to give rest for 30 minutes to 1 hour. It depends on the kind of work you are doing. And instead of sticking on to the time for giving rest to the body, what you can do is, when you lie on the bed, be conscious about the parts of your body that is experiencing pain. Be conscious about it. Close your eyes and just bring your consciousness to the part that is that needs rest. And when you are doing that, you can actually feel that the pain is gradually decreasing. So when you feel like you can no longer concentrate on the pain, it means the pain has actually faded away. That is when you are free to continue with your working. That's how you can um, save much energy. I know it is difficult for office goers and school going kids and college going kids, but for housewives they can do it because they are the ones who are experiencing um, arthritic pains. If they are conscious about this, what they want to do is they want to finish all the household work at a stretch, which is going to take 5 to 6 hours, which is definitely not good for health. Give yourself an hour or two break in between, so that you will feel there nobody is pressuring you to finish everything at a stretch, right? You just feel like it is just psychological. you think that you are free only after completing everything. Everybody is saying like that. You have to finish everything right there. You should not postpone it. Well, when you are not postponing anything, what you are actually doing is you are giving up your much of your energy, and you are slowly dying. So that's not intellectual. And you are paying much attention to what others say. Why can't you pay much attention to what your body is actually saying? That is more than enough to cure any of your disease. Okay, let me come to the second thing that consumes much of our energy. That is speaking. When we are speaking louder, we spend more energy. So it is really intelligent to speak as soft as possible. It should be like, hi, how are you? Yeah, it is fine. I know it is not audible for this video, but for your daily life, it is okay. You can speak as gentle as possible. It should be very low. The volume should be very low. So that saves a lot of energy. If you can see some people who are very soft, you can find that they do not suffer from any major chronic disease. Well, if you find and they'd be doing certain mistakes in some of the other steps that I'm going to discuss in this video. So that's the main thing. You need to, the best thing is stay as calm as possible. Only when the situation demands, you open your mouth. When you open your mouth for speaking, try to speak as little as possible and with as low voice as possible. So that saves a lot of energy, and also by doing that you will save yourself much arguments, right? Because argument is actually going to take much of your energy, so always stay away from arguments. Then through eyes, unfortunately, this is the only sense that we use for a very long period, for around 10 to 15 hours at a stretch. Everybody is using their eyes. It's just open. Even when you have no intention of seeing it, still your eye is working. It is seeing something. So when there is no need, why can't you just keep your eyes closed? Because you will save a lot of energy. So try that. Always keep your eyes closed when there is no need for it to see. And when there is a need to see, always bring consciousness to what you are saying. Whether it causes much strain. If it causes much strain, it obviously means it takes away much of your energy. If it causes less strain, it means it takes lesser amount of energy. Now almost every field requires having to sit in front of a computer for a long time. So if it is see for strategies to spend only little time in front of the computer. If it is quite unavoidable, then the things you have to bring conscious on is the amount of light. I think everybody is using now the LED monitor, the plasma screen, God knows what other technology, what other things technology is going to bring in future. But there will be settings in your monitor to set the light to dim, so keep it as dim as possible. If it is, you can check it. If you have it in bright mode, you cannot see it for a long time. You will experience pain within 10 to 30 minutes. But if you are having it in soft mode, but I'm in no way saying that you need to see it for a long time. The idea is just to reduce the strain. Even if you have this monitor in soft mode, in very dim mode, still look for ways to get out of the computer as soon as possible. So that's another thing you need to bring consciousness on. And the other thing is, it applies to almost everybody. Just think about you having to walk for 1 kilometer by walk. I think most of you can do it without complaining. But think about running 1 kilometer as fast as possible. You will experience the rapid inspiration and expiration within 5 to 10 minutes. You will experience the exhaustion within 5 to 10 minutes, some even faint. So what we should know from this is, doing any kind of work at slower pace consumes lesser energy. If the same thing is done in a faster pace, it consumes a lot of energy. So you need to bring consciousness on this. And there's another thing that you need to know is about doing exercise. It is widely misunderstood that doing exercise and doing yogic exercise are actually good for health. But in reality, if you bring little consciousness on your energy level, this is absolutely opposite to what the world is believing. Yes, it takes a lot of energy. If you are experiencing any kind of disease, any kind of chronic disorder, it obviously means your body is in great demand of energy. How can one be dumb enough to believe that doing yoga or any kind of physical exercise is going to give energy, thereby it's going to be of any help in rectifying that problem? So you can find, instead of in most cases, for people with chronic disorders, you can see the disease is being chronic just because they have this regular habit of walking, running, jogging, or doing some exercise, no matter whether it's aerobic or anaerobic exercise. Everything is going to consume energy. Anaerobic exercise are going to consume a lot of energy, and anaerobic exercise are going to cause severe bone damage in addition to loss of energy. So if you stop doing those things, then you will see quick recovery. But nobody is willing to think like that, because when they start think that way, they will suddenly start seeing the whole world is behaving the opposite. So they start having some kind of fear that they are alone. So they want to be, they feel safe to be stupid among crowd instead of intelligent and being left all alone. So the choice is yours. And in India, in meditation, they find some 7 chakras. They are invisible areas in our body where the energy is being saved. It starts from the anus to our forehead. The point near our anal region is called Muladhara, which means the source of life. It is that important. And above it, below navel, there is another energy center, and around navel there is another energy center, and in the chest area there is another energy center, and in the throat region there is another energy center, and in between eyebrows there is another energy center, and at the top of the head there is another energy center. But what is more important is um, this Mooladhara, this the chakra that is uh, well, I think I'll discuss about this in another video. Stay tuned to know about these things. My God.